Hey Ben and Matt, we're at 1666 Hidden Lane. It's Thursday. It's one day in November. I don't know what day it is. Issues with the garage. This is an adjacent wall to a living space. That means anything on this wall has to be fire blocked. So either option one is to sheetrock this with 5/8 sheetrock, corner and spackle it, or which is going to be easier, is to get the orange fire spray foam all this stuff right here. Over here in the front, make sure that this is all fire foamed. You may as well just run all the way up the line here as well, just to cover ourselves, and then fire foam up in that corner. We do have a gap up here, so this is where the wall meets the ceiling. Maybe we can get like another piece of sheetrock and just glue it on there. It's about, it stretches from here all the way down there, so it's about 10 feet, just to get something to cover that. Make sure that we just spray the fire foam right in this one. You don't need that one because it's above the attic. So for garage, again, fire protection here, fire protection at the top gap, fire protection all the way down, the holes at the bottom, get those done. For your smokes, sir, in this bedroom, which is right outside the garage, make sure you get a smoke alarm there. You're also going to need to have a carbon monoxide and a smoke alarm on the ceiling within 8 feet of the door. So just put one here, whether you put a combo or you put two. Just make sure there's a smoke and a carbon. We have this bedroom over here, so you have to put a smoke and a carbon as well. However, you have a return here, so you've got to keep smoke alarms, I believe it's 3 feet away from a return. So you could probably put one right here in the corner, but do not put it right here, you'll fail, because that's too close. I'm not sure if they count this as a bedroom or not, but just so you guys, it doesn't have an egress window, but it is existing. But just so you don't get caught, you may as well just put a smoke alarm up here. Play it safe, they're only $5, the battery ones. But then get yourself a smoke and a fire alarm, a smoke and a carbon monoxide detector on this floor. You can see the rainbow of smoke that we have in here. The unit went on, it was at 58 degrees inside the house. I turned it on, it went on to 62 degrees, which it's at now upstairs. So it could just be because it's a brand new unit. If this is the first time it's being fired up, that could actually just be typically normal. I don't really think it's a problem, because if this was smoke like something was really burning, it wouldn't be like this light haze and you can't smell it. So when the inspector was in here, he didn't even really notice it, because he looked real quick and he had his back to it. And while I got on the video, so this is the bonding clamp that we had to do. This is a disconnect. I have pictures which I'll be sending you. So basically it's just boop, disconnected. Oops. And then I dropped it. I'll fix that. So they had the whip going in there. I'm not 100% sure if you have a fire and a smoke alarm here, if that's going to suffice for this room. I mean, it is right outside. I don't know if I said it, but get yourself a smoke alarm in this room. All smoke alarms need to stay away from returns and registers. So the problem you have with this is good for it's graspable, but it doesn't have a return. So what you need to do is, all he says, we can just miter this, cut it this way, because when we cut this way, it still lines up with the bottom of the stairs. You don't want to cut anywhere over here, because you'll see how if you cut here, it doesn't line up with the stairs, then you're going to fail. So just 45 it right at the bottom here, come out this way, and then go back in here, because you're going to return it into a wall here. So that's okay. And it'll look something just like this, where it kind of comes up. You see how it just returns into the wall? That's what you want to do there. So you 45 it, you go around and right up to the wall. It's very hard to see, but geez, I can't think of the word. Hazy up here from the smoke that's coming out the vents. We're going to need a smoke and a carbon monoxide alarm somewhere out here. That's probably, split the difference between the lights so it kind of looks, aesthetically correct. So put a smoke and a carbon right there. We're going to need to have a smoke and a carbon monoxide alarm up here as well, because they need to be 8 feet from each bedroom. So we need a smoke and a carbon there. We're going to need a smoke alarm in this bedroom, smoke alarm in this bedroom, smoke alarm in this bedroom. The thermostat was just set to 62. We got to go outside to the rear deck. Let's go this way. Yeah, he said something about this, but he's like, well, that's just shitty craftsmanship, but he's like, I can't fail you for that. So he already knows that this deck was not even put up with permits. You know, he didn't bust our chops on the risers, because you're supposed to, these risers are supposed to be the same distance. The problem is down here, it's only about like 3 inches, and over here it's like 6 inches. But the bottom line is we got to put risers on here. So the riser is going to be, just get a 2x6 to put on the side here. What you want to do is attach it to the top here and come past this, so come down. So let's say this distance is 6 inches roughly. So you're going to cut this 2x8, you're going to make it 8 inches so it taps behind here. This way you can come from behind the stairs and you can screw it into this beam right here, and then we can screw it down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 risers to do. The other issue is this is not a graspable handrail. This is not the code. So he made this very specific of the last time he was here. But what you can do is you get a bracket over here, you get a bracket on the top, and we can just put a railing right here. Just make sure you have a return on this coming up here. Just don't run the post and then just stop like everybody does. The reason why you can't just have it go straight and stop is it's a fire hazard. If somebody's like running, let's say you're at the top over here and it's just a pole and the bracket, you know, the bracket's right here. If somebody's running down, their shirt gets caught because the pole's sticking there. They can't get away from the fire because they're panicking. That's why you have to have return so that nothing gets caught in there. All right, so we talked about the risers, talked about the railing. We've talked about the return on the railing on the stairs. We know about all the smoke alarms and the carbon monoxide detectors. In the kitchen, you're going to need a fire extinguisher. Check your local code on this town. However, all towns now are doing the 2 A10BC fire extinguishers, not the 1 A10BCs. The 1 A10BCs are the skinnier ones. They're $20. That's not what they're accepting. The ones here, they're going to be $40 at Home Depot. That's probably the best place to mount it. Just make sure you have the proper height that you need. We're good up there. We spoke about this carbon monoxide alarm. Again, we're going to come down, over, and then return there. Oh, this one that we didn't talk about. We need the handrail over here. When you put this handrail, just like the other one outside, make sure it goes straight down and a return. Measure from the nosing when you do railings. The code is, it's like 32 to 40 inches above, so it could be anywhere between there. But you measure from right here. 32 is the minimum, 42 is the top, so just go 35, 36, and that's the way you put the railing on. When the railing goes all the way down, make sure that the railing lines up with the end of this nosing. That's how far you need to go. And depending if you make the return, maybe you can actually die into this wall, but I don't know, you know, the distance. But if you can just screw it right into there. That is it for the inside, and then just a reminder about the fireproofing, all this fireproofing. Look, I had a workstation set up here, had my laptop. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. All done.